This is a team that's inspiring debate for a whole bunch of different reasons. But listen, most important, Darrell Taylor, who left the game on a stretcher. A lot of people were pretty upset and concerned about him. But even when he left, he didn't want to leave. He was pretty upset about it. He felt he was fine. He had movement in his extremities, but the team wasn't going to take a chance. He's fine. There's a chance he could even play on Monday night against the Saints. So good news there, but another loss for the Seahawks, who dropped to 4-2. And how did they get to 500 before Russell gets back?
Well, our good friend Chris Burns, during our Seahawk pregame show the other day, he put out a plan on how the Seahawks were going to win that game. And they almost pulled it off. They did. I mean, play, stout defensively, just be smart on offense, run the football, get Geno Smith to manage the game. And one of the things I pointed out was ball security with Geno Smith. And for the most part, through the entire game, he didn't turn the ball over, didn't make any stupid decisions as a quarterback. Give TJ Watt credit on that play. It wasn't like Geno Smith was running with the football, flailing it all over the place. Watt comes in, swats it out of his hand. They get the 37-yard field goal to win it. But I just look at this team. If they have to get one-dimensional, they get into a track meet with a team like perhaps the Saints on Monday night, they're in trouble, because right now they just can't get it done that way.
Yeah, they don't have the weapons, or they do, but they can't get the ball to their weapons. Meanwhile, Alex Collins, he's banged up. He's got a glute injury and I think a hamstring injury as well. So whether or not he's going to play remains up in the air. To be truthful, look, you know me, I've kind of been down on Chris Carson the last season or so. I think they've gotten everything they can get out of him. I believe Alex Collins is their best running back when healthy, regardless of who's available.
I would have a tendency to agree with you. I just love the thing I love about Collins this game is just how stout he is. I mean, this is a guy who's pretty thick, and he runs hard, hits the hole hard. And you're right. I mean, if I had to pick one Seahawk running back, it would be Collins.
The most interesting thing to me in that game was at halftime. Michelle Tafoya, who was doing the game on the sidelines for NBC, she goes into the locker room, talks to both coaches, or runs off the field with them. Mike Tomlin says he expected that the Seahawks would try to do everything they could to get the ball to Metcalf and Lockett. She talks to Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll says, we're going to run the football in the second half. Well, Mike Tomlin was hell wrong, and Pete Carroll was right, and they ran the ball, and it completely changed the look of that game because Pittsburgh was owning the first half. So my question to you is, we know what let Russ cook looks like. How about letting Pete cook? What does that look like? Because I think it looks like run, and run.
Well, 126 yards rushing in the second half. If you look at the time of possession in that football game, in the first half, the Pittsburgh Steelers had the ball, I believe, 20 minutes and change. Seahawks were about 9 minutes. And in the second half, that almost flipped.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it flipped in the sense that the Seahawks were the ones that were controlling the clock, and they did it by running the football. So, again, if the Seahawks can run the football, here's the other thing that comes into play is you take the other offense off the field, right? So maybe you can get into those 17, 14, 21, 20 type games. The big thing the Seahawks did defensively is they didn't give up the quick strike. They didn't give up like big plays, big chunks of yardage. If they can do that against the Saints and make the Saints earn their points, maybe they have a chance. But if the Saints get short fields or they get those big chunks of yardage on certain plays, I just don't like their chances.
They might get Michael Thomas back in the lineup as well. We were talking about DK Metcalf earlier. Here's one for you. DK Metcalf and Shannon Sharpe. Did you see this stuff during...
DK, what are you thinking, dude?
Do you know who Shannon Sharpe is?
I was like, okay, the play at the end of the game where DK tries to get upfield and fumbles the football, that was dumb. This is probably dumber because Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Fame player. I mean, he's a stud and Super Bowl winner. And this guy's talking about, oh, come on. Seriously, DK.
Yeah, called him an old guy, has been, all of this stuff. Shannon Sharpe's legit. And again, DK Metcalf was wrong. Now, I don't want to overly criticize DK's play because I remember that time when he dropped the ball earlier. Remember he led up before the end zone and he got stripped. And, I was really critical of him then. He comes back later in the game, makes a big play. The Buda Baker play, I mean, those are effort plays. This guy's got character. There's something there. So I hated the fact that he tried to play hero ball at the end and almost cost his team the game. But then to come back and double down and make those comments about Shannon Sharpe, at the end, he did walk back a tweet. Right? He did say that, on second thought, and did kind of give Sharpe some love, but I think the damage had been done to that point.
Hey, you know what, DK, you've got a phone in your hand. Google Shannon Sharpe, check out his numbers, check out his accomplishments. You could match those. You could even be better when it's all said and done, but right now, you're not even close.